Today we're going to go through all of the bits that come in your Oracle Touch box. There's a lot to go through and all of them are really important, so don't lose them. The first we're going to have a look at is this little brush. This brush can be used for pretty much anything, but its intended purpose is to brush around inside of here to dislodge any coffee that's got stuck there, which can affect the dosing, but also can affect the actual upper tamping system. So if, for example, you're ever having issues with a little bit of coffee on top once you finish grinding and tamping, I would recommend removing it, which we'll get onto later, giving it a good brush. Next, we have this. This is a two-part tool. The first is used to clean inside of the steam wand, which I'll show you a bit more in depth later. And the other is a little magnet. So this magnet is used here, and it will take out tamping fan. There's a number of reasons you do this. The first is if you're getting inconsistent tamping. So if small piles of coffee are appearing on top of your portafilter, you should remove this and give it a good brush. The second is so that you can get at this. This is called the Tamping Fan Adjuster. Now, this part relates to these two little Allen keys. These Allen keys are used to make small changes to this Allen key here, which allows you to make the distance between these two larger or smaller. A top tip here is that each individual turn of this should relate to about 1 gram increase or decrease of dose in your end tamped shot. To put this back together, you can quite simply push this up in here and click it into place. And then without the magnet attached, you're going to put this up and click it into place. That's now attached. Thanks to the joy of magnets, all of that's now stable in there. The next bit we've got are these Espresso cleaning tablets. These are used whenever the machine tells you, and there will be guidance on the machine. So we're not going to go through that today. But this does bring me on to this part. This is a single wall basket, but this will work alongside this blanking disc. So the single wall basket can be used if you want to make smaller doses of coffee or single shots. So if you're extracting single shots, be sure to use this basket. Its secondary use, which will be a lot more sporadic, is putting in this blanking disc like so, taking out one of your tablets, putting it in, and then following the instructions on the screen. Next, we have steam wand cleaner. Once again, based on the time frame that the machine gives you, you're going to want to put this steam wand cleaner in the provided amounts into a jug of water and soak your steam wand. Next, and this is if, please check out our other videos, if you've left your steam wand to get really dirty, really caked with milk, this is to open up those little holes. So all this does is you poke it up into the holes and it means pressure can then pass through, allowing you to dislodge and get rid of any gross milk that's built up in there. Top tip, if you're losing pressure on your steam wand, it's usually because milk has crusted onto the internals, and if it can't get out the other side, it won't actually be able to be removed. So what you want to do is poke through those little holes, which you can do like this, lifting this up, spinning this off. Wait until it's cold to do this, otherwise it will be hot. Spinning this off, and on here we can see tiny little holes, and really simply you just put it into each hole and just give it a little wiggle around, and that just makes sure it's really nice and clean. That's reattached and put back in place. This also can be used alongside this, and you'll just put it up into that cavity and clean out inside of there. This is a really great tool just to get your pressure back up. If, for example, you're seeing changes on your set frothing profiles, it's usually because you haven't properly cleaned and purged this. Even though it's automatic, milk can still build up internally and it can cause a detriment to the usage of your machine. The other two bits, hopefully are quite obvious to you. The first is a knock box. All you do with this is knock out your coffee. And the second is this portafilter. This portafilter, really simply, you can take out this filter for cleaning, for example, which this one does need, and also for reinserting things like your single filter. If it's a little bit stuck or can't be dislodged quite easily, you can use any of the attached tools or a spoon to remove, but it's relatively easy to do so. So, that's given you an overview of everything that comes in your box, and hopefully means you can get the most out of your machine. One final bit, where do I store all these tools that you've so politely given me? What we do is we remove the drip tray. In here there's also this small wheel so that you can easily move around your machine. If, for example, you want to clean behind it, or if you want to move it back and forth to fill up the water, which you can do so on the front or on the back. Once you're in here, there's this lovely little tray, and this tray is specifically meant to put all my bits. So I can do that now. Once stored, they can clip back there. Put our drip tray back in place, and there we are, ready to go.